combination of gearheads, John the Instigator, Derek the Conservative, Will the Builder, Sean the Racer, and maybe a guest invite you to listen while we sit down, have a drink, and discuss cars. Learn more and subscribe to the podcast with no driving gloves. Time now for the ride.
What are we talking about now, y'all?
Hey, you should know. Now, we're wrapping up the year. We do it every year. We've done a year-end wrap-up, and it's been fun in 2020. I think everybody knows there's been one or two distractions this year. Unfortunately, Alex Trebek passed away this year, and we lost Sean Connery. And
Charlie
what
Daniels,
else could go
man.
wrong?
Jerry Jeff Walker,
John Prine,
Kenny Rogers.
The devil finally went down to Georgia. Yeah.
The list goes on.
Yeah, Kenny Rogers.
It's ridiculous.
Mm-mm.
That was this year? I thought Kenny Rogers was last year. That was 2020?
No, that was this year.
Okay. All right.
I don't think anybody came back. There were no hologram concerts or anything because for some reason we're not allowed to go outside. Even in Alabama, outside's kind of restricted. So we're going to try to figure out our goals were for 2020. Did we succeed in any of them? I'm going to flat be honest and say, I think anything I said last year that I wanted to do this year with the events of the year and the change in business, I didn't do anything. Except I actually might have a little bit more money in the bank. And I didn't buy a car. I think I made a promise that I wouldn't buy a car this year, and I did not buy a car this year. There's always a chance, but...
Derek has a point. Derek definitely has a point.
Mine's going to be really, 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 really simple. The answer is no. I didn't get anything done that I wanted to get done this year. And if you want to know what I want to get done next year, listen to last year's. you know,
go back and listen to
listen to last year. You know, it's going to be the same thing, other than maybe a couple of different car shows. But yeah, pretty much the same thing. And I have no idea what I said last year.
That's perfect. That's exactly where I was going to go. I was like, can you give us a synopsis? No, I can't.
So,
car-wise, I don't even know if I've got a goal for next year. I probably in 2021 will consider buying a new car. Probably will.
A new car or a new old car?
I don't know if it would be the toy car that I'd want to have, some $4,000 or $5,000 Miata beater, or if it would be to get rid of what I've got to get something else, like a minivan or such. But yeah, I don't know. You never know. I could be driving by a car dealer one day, and worst she's going to do is kill me. And I think we just had a conversation about me dying anyway. So.
Well, yeah, there we go.
Oh, perfect.
So am I the only one that actually accomplished something this year? Yeah.
I think we all accomplished something. We just didn't accomplish what we wanted to accomplish.
Accomplished one of the goals from last year's episode.
Yeah, I think you're special. I think you're special.
I've been special for a long time, John.
If there's one thing we know, it's that. So what did you accomplish this year that you said you wanted to accomplish last year, Derek?
Building the barn.
It was the barn?
Yeah. It's almost done. Concrete, couple doors, power, done.
How big is that thing anyway? It's awesome. It's
huge.
It's huge.
Huge. Bigly huge.
Massive barn.
It's not big enough.
Not big enough, exactly.
It's never big enough.
It's a 30 by 45 by 14 foot ceiling height.
It is tall.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to be the best at barns?
Possibly.
Crickets. Just crickets.
Possibly.
Always crickets. Oh, Lord. So you did the barn.
Mm-hmm.
And was there anything?
I think I failed. I think I might have said the same thing John did, which was I'm not going to buy another car until I get the barn built and have a couple of the cars back on the road. That epically failed because I bought the Lloyd and I recently picked up a 1923, 24-ish Chevrolet chassis to turn into a speedster. So I'm not really doing good on the don't buy car end of things before you get other stuff done, because it doesn't work.
Is the Speedster project a keeper, or is that just something you want to build to flip?
No, it'll be a keeper. Mm-hmm.
It's a keeper. Okay. All right.
I've never flipped a car. I can't.
Really?
I'm too attached to them.
I
sold
a car.
Did you mean to? It just kind of just happened.
I mean, yeah, I was kind of trying, but not really. And, right person come up and right money was talked about, and he
it's that
drove
old
off
story. Everything's for sale.
Everything's for sale. Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Except for that car you drive by on the side of the road all the time and you stop, but they're going to restore it. That one's never for sale.
You just haven't brought enough money. It doesn't matter. Everybody has a price.
Now, some of the ones I've run into.
I swear I'm with Derek on that.
You don't have enough money.
There's some out there that literally they're like, no, it's sentimental value. It's got sentimental value. Oh, does it really? Because it's been sitting there for 40 years and it's basically one with the earth again.
Yeah, it's got sentimental rust.
I'm sure this palette of Benjamin Franklin says different.
How much sentimental value does the Willys pickup truck 40 feet up in a tree truly have to you? You let a tree grow through it and lift it up in the air over the last 50 years, and you still won't sell it because it has sentimental value.
Well, now it's art.
Is it?
It's now art. And if you go back to our Christmas episode, you know how important art is to car guys.
Right. I'll give them $100 for a print of that.
I've got some George Washingtons here that might change your mind.
A couple Abraham Lincolns, maybe. Oh, dear God. I wasn't around last year for that show, so am I off the hook? I don't have to talk about anything?
I think you're off the hook. Well, did you have goals for 2020, or were you just a lump?
No, I totally had goals for 2020. Some of them are.
I think you probably achieved them. I think you achieved some of your goals.
Being a lump, is one of them.
I literally have. I have blossomed into even more of a lump than I was before the Achilles surgery. But I did buy I have a. It's a stationary bike that I bought 2 days ago that I'm starting to ride, and I'm going to start dropping some poundage.
That I'm assuming is to do with your simulator or VR headset, right?
Part of it, yeah, part of it. I've wanted this particular model of it's a Proform Tour de France. France. I said France, not France. And the particular model, you can tie it into Zwift, which is it's a simulated bike riding thing. And I'm going to move this chassis out from behind these 50/50s and move the bike in front of the 50/50s and use Zwift and go on these group rides and try to engage a little bit of the competitive race nature. And hopefully that sucks me a little deeper into the unfattening process that I know I need to go through. Because
not that we don't have any confidence in you, but when you get tired of that in a week or two, Zara's interested.
I don't think I will. I lost. It's been a while ago, but I lost 110 pounds. I just happened to find them over the last couple of years after my Achilles decided it didn't really like me anymore, and I just remembered how good Ben and Jerry's is. Ben and Jerry's is really good. That and cheese,
you know what's even better than Ben and Jerry's?
What?
Have you ever heard of Jenny's ice cream?
No.
Yes.
No.
Get Jenny's ice cream.
Actually,
Jeni.
Really?
Yeah, I was thinking we might have one of those in Birmingham now.
If she's expanded into Birmingham, go for it, man. She's from Ohio, but they've got Ohio.
Jenny's got it going on.
There's Nashville has some stores now. Oh my! We order it online and it gets shipped to us. That's dangerous.
Literally, you don't have to exert the energy to get up off the couch to go get it. It's just
we have to get off the couch and get it out of the freezer.
No, I meant like actually leave the house to get it.
Yeah, no, don't do that.
Okay, now you've adopted children.
It's 2020.
Gotcha. You've adopted children, so in a couple of years you can say, "Go get me some ice cream."
When I was looking for small businesses for my small business podcast, I came across them because Jenny's is in Pepper Place for any Birmingham
Really?
resident.
Okay. I don't need to know that. I'm trying to lose.
Highly recommended.
219 29th Street South, Birmingham. It closes at 10:30 p.m. tonight, Sean.
John gets mad
on
at
my
me
way.
when I cuss on the podcast, but he is such a jackass. It's like I do not like you right now. That's just mean, totally mean. Yeah. So there's that, and then there's the launching a business during the world shutting down.
Ooh, they got a cognac with
Lord.
gingerbread.
Oh, y'all suck.
You're welcome. Hey, so I want to throw something out here really quick because I think one of our group goals, or the host goals of jointly was to try to interact more with some of our listeners. And I'm no joke sitting here, and he's going to love that I'm mentioning this. We're sitting here recording tonight. And one of our very avid listeners that I think John has come to know Jason as well. But Jason actually sent me a message while we're recording tonight that he is listening to one of the episodes and was talking about the things John and I talked about and how hilarious he found it. So clearly we're maybe reaching our goal of interacting more with our listeners as well. See, I'm getting Facebook messages.
You're interacting quite well with our
We
fan.
actually are getting a lot more traffic to Facebook and the listeners, and we thank you because it's really helped inspire me, and it's one of the reasons I've spent a little bit of money recently buying some new equipment and some new software. Our listener numbers are actually on target for where I wanted to be at the end of the year, from where we were in January to now. I mean, when we started, we were getting, the beginning of the year with 1,000, 2,000 downloads every now and then. Now we're getting thousands. And I mean, I'm real happy with it. We're hoping to get a little bit bigger. It might mean you guys have to suffer through a commercial or two, but unless of course you just go and buy us a coffee, you can go to buyasacoffee.com/no driving gloves and get us a coffee or two and help keeping advertising off the air.
They're used to commercials. Remember when we used to have the segments of, who Will needs to hire this week?
Who does Will need to hire this week?
What John needs.
Yeah, you haven't needed new employees lately, Will, if I could speak.
No, I got an awesome group, best group I've ever had.
And see, and we appreciate the podcast listeners that applied and went to work for Will.
I will say this: if the right person came about, I would not turn them down. But I am not actively looking for anybody to hire. So
I'm sending my resume to
He said the right person.
No need.
I know.
No need.
Right? The right
No
person.
need. No need. We don't sand wooden wheels and stuff like that.
That's right. You don't work on cool stuff there.
Just think though, Derek managed to get his old Chevrolet on the road and licensed and drivable, just got his barn built. He would be able to commute to Big Oak Garage from Bowling Green in that every day, back and forth.
Yeah, by the time he got here, he'd have to turn around and go back. And then
he'd be there tomorrow. He'd always be showing up tomorrow.
It'd always be a day late.
Yeah, but the cool thing is I could have a Big Oak Garage decal on the car and no driveway. I'd be a rolling billboard for your company.
We don't want people to be laughing at us. So you got to get a cool car.
It just got brutal. A Zamboni commuter is what you need.
I think Derek may cry. Are you okay, buddy?
No, I'm actually thinking, be happy to, show the Lloyd off somewhere.
Oh, that'd be cool. Can we tub the Lloyd?
I'm just pointing out the fact that I actually now own a custom car in my collection, Will.
Can we turn it into a pro touring car?
Actually, I'm going to do vid and chill.
I think the Lloyd, we could put a Hayabusa engine in it and turn it into a pro touring car. I think it'd be pretty awesome. It's small enough for that, I think. What's that car weigh?
I don't know. We could look. You can look up what an original Lloyd weighs, but this has 52 Packard sheet metal that's been cut apart and put back together to make the body. So probably weighs more than an original Lloyd.
Okay, so Will, you need to make some carbon panels. Whatever the tube frame was that you had in that Camaro that I could basically bench press. And we'll put a 3-cylinder snowmobile drivetrain out of an A-mod in it, and some 747 wings, one on the front as a splitter and one on the back, and then you got your hill climb monster. It's perfect. There's the plan.
Then you can't call it a Lloyd.
You could. What could you call it? A Lloyd special at that point. It would be a Lloyd special. No?
Already special.
Come on, Derek.
We know you're
Come on,
special.
Derek. Jump in.
Oh, no, I said it's already special. The car, the Lloyd.
So what are the goals going into 2021? Do we have anything that we're hoping to accomplish this year automotive-wise? Or I guess actually...
Did you say going into 2020 or going into 2021?
2021.
Yeah, because we definitely don't want to go back into 2020. Hell no. That some bitch needs to get the hell out of here.
I was going to say, we don't want a mulligan on 2020?
Who pushed the repeat button?
But you have seen, they said we can't really ever change the year because otherwise 2021. 2021.
Uh-huh.
I'm good.
Are we going to go straight to 2022? It's going to be like the...
It might be nice,
I
actually.
think it really would be nice because I'm a little worried about 2021.
I think we need to put it far in the distance. 2024 works for me.
We're just going to skip to 2030 and see what we get. That would be cool if we could actually press that. What is it? What was that movie with Adam Sandler in it? Click, I think is what it was called, where he had the remote control and he could fast forward through all the bad stuff.
That was
that.
Click.
You go to Bed Bath and Beyond. Where'd you get the remote control? I got it in Beyond. It's what we need.
Oh, so this is what the Beyond is.
Yeah, absolutely. If I had to set one goal for 2021, there will be a minivan. Automotively, there will be a minivan in my life in 2021, and I will do silly things with it, like actually take it to track days and autocross it and haul simulators around in it and parts and generally have fun with it.
Why we're going to fix this stupid changing of the clocks next year, hopefully.
Are we?
We could also just get rid of this calendar we have and go to stardate. So we go from 2020 to stardate 30/11/37.
Can you say that like Picard, or
no?
Are you capable of that? No, you can't. You're not.
I could try like
thing down.
William Shatner.
I like the full 24374.
No, it's 301137.2620.
3011.
011.
Hike.
We've got to be getting close because we have Google and Alexa, which is essentially the computer. I mean, on the show, it was computer,
right?
Blah, blah, blah. Now we like, hey, Google, blah, blah, blah. Alexa, blah, blah, blah. So we might as well. I mean, we are there.
We have VR.
We have doors that automatically open for us. They've been around for a while. We've got
VR is basically a holodeck.
VR, we have a holodeck. I mean, we're there. I think we're right. Start the campaign for Stardate.
I think you're right. Everything else in this world is from Star Trek, not that horrible movie Star Wars from Star Trek.
Yes.
Hey.
Yes, I 100% agree with that.
And if that guy would quit flying around in that dang police call box, maybe we'd get on track
Is this a
again.
car podcast?
Probably his fault for 2020.
Hey, John, who are you talking about?
Doctor. Who?
Well, Will tell us
Star
what
Trek.
your goals for next year are then, related to cars.
Or Star Wars.
or Star Wars.
I will not watch Babylon 5.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
What about Babylon 5? Is that you want Battlestar Galactica?
Nope.
Will not be participating in the podcast during Stardate 30.
I'm out.
30.
I'm coming to you with a
No, but we be watching for John and his upcoming podcast next year. That we'll deal with some of these issues.
your next podcast is just going to be called Stardate.
I guess
It's perfect.
Yeah, it would be.
That might actually be a good name for it.
One of my 2021 goals, which I know I said in 2020, was be a little more active on social media to help promote the podcast, promote Big Oak Garage, and I have made some moves to make that happen already. So I've got a little help coming with my social media. Actually, this person made the first Big Oak Garage post today. So that's actively moving forward. She knows to, support our sponsors at Big Oak Garage and support No Driving Gloves and other adventures. So yeah, that's actively already been put in place. Just keep building badass cars for badass people. And obviously, I think I would want the TV show to be a big success.
You're putting the time in on it. There ain't no doubt about that. It's I can't wait to see it, man. Everything that you mentioned, that you said about it sounds like really cool.
I've seen the first cut of the Camaro, and it's looking pretty good. So
cool.
And I mean, for 2020, you sure have. You're somebody who did not take a break. You worked your ass off. I mean,
yeah.
You said it at one point that you are basically running two shops.
Yep.
Full time.
Yep.
Full time running a shop is not 40 hours a week. It's more than that.
Yeah, running two hot rod shops. I mean, I'm at Big Oak 50 hours a week in 4 days minimum, and then at the shop in Atlanta, 3 days a week, and we're there from pretty well candle can't. Now there's times where I'm like, hey, I gotta go to the house and get some sleep and relax for a little bit. And all the people in Atlanta respect that. They know how busy I am and what I've got going on. So, but when we're in final assembly of getting one done, I mean, we're building these cars in basically 3 weeks. That's complete tear down, fix what needs to be fixed, repair what needs to be repaired, engine swaps, chassis swaps, suspension changes, all the little custom stuff painted and then assembled. So, doing that in 3 weeks is very, very tough. Luckily, there's a good crew over there too that, make my job as easy as they can possibly make it. So, but yeah, it's been a grind. So burning in it at both ends for sure.
Derek, what are your plans for 2021 that I want to say you can publicly speak about, since you're the only one of us that has a works for somebody?
Yes. Let's see. Well, the goals at work obviously are to, keep making interesting exhibits that people want to come see related to Corvette history and automotive history and all those fun things. But personal wise, I mean, obviously I want to get more of my cars on the road driving. I mean, I'd love to be driving them back and forth to work, obviously. I think the barn's going to be a big help with that. A lot more room to work on the cars and do that stuff. And hopefully not buy any more cars, but I probably won't be able to handle that. And I'll probably buy more cars next year too. Yeah, well, I don't know about that. Everybody knows that.
Maybe the barn will keep you up late. Because it's lit. You won't, go into the house because you can't work, And then keep you off the internet and prevent you from buying a few
I have this
cars.
thing called a cell phone that has internet on it. And you can go on Marketplace and all those places and look at cars that are for sale, which causes a problem. So, and then obviously, I think everybody, most of our listeners have probably heard at one point or another that we're fostering some kids, and it's highly likely that we'll adopt them next year. So that'll be a little game changing. Might take my focus a little bit away from the cars, but it's well worth it.
Those are huge goals. those are huge. My goals pale in comparison to that. I have nothing to. Not that you can. No one can compete with that.
Tell us what goals pale in comparison to that.
I mean, it's literally it's obviously Nemesis Lab. We've been building that for 3 years now, and we're finally to a point where we have our simulator design. The chassis design is done. It's done, and we've moved several of the motorsport versions of what we're calling our NLO2 GT, which is a GT race car inspired motorsport simulator, and basically getting that brand properly launched. And that's going to revolve around a lot of automotive stuff. We actually did our first public event ever with Nemesis Lab. After Nemesis has been a thing for 3 years now, and we've gone through 7 iterations of that chassis, and now to finally have it to the point where 2D drawings are locked in, all the CAD is done, everything is laid out, it's production ready. And we finally did that first public event with it, and everybody just went bonkers over it. So that I got to take a couple of folks from Chin Motorsports that are part of the Chin Track Days team. Their chief instructor came into the trailer at the beginning of Saturday morning, and he's like, "I don't really like simulation." And I was like, "I think we might be able to change your mind." And by the end of the weekend, he was like, "Y'all are coming to Road Atlanta, right?" Like, literally couldn't get him out of the seat. And he was just seeing that happen with something that we put so much time in it's really rewarding, just to see that actually playing out and people getting it is really cool. So building Nemesis is first and foremost. Just joined up with the E-Racing Association, which is going to be a brand new e-motorsport sanctioning body, and we're going to have a bunch of tournaments. We have one coming up in December, big cash prizes based off of the iRacing platform. High level sponsorships involved. That's going to be a lot of fun, more vehicular based stuff there. And then no driving gloves. I mean, like Will said, this is something that I enjoy doing it, man. I enjoy disagreeing with you guys on a regular basis. And it's just fun. And I think no driving gloves, I think what we've got here, we've seen it grow over the last couple of years. And I watched it grow before y'all ever allowed me to come in and sit down and be a part of it. And to see it basically just going up and up, I think next year we can actually push this thing into something that is what we know it's capable of. So, and being a part of that and helping that growth is definitely a goal for next year as well. And then the minivan. I want a minivan.
Get a full-size van.
I'm weird. John and I are weird. I know, Will. I don't know what to tell you.
Are
man.
you a full-size
I want a minivan.
dude?
It's dual purpose, man.
Are you a full-size dude?
No matter what I say, you're still going to shake your head. So it doesn't matter. I'm not trying to convince you that it's a cool thing.
It's a yes or no question. Are you a full-size dude?
I can do a mattress. Well, I'm gonna lose weight. I got a bike.
Get a full-size van.
What are you trying to say? There's nothing wrong with a minivan.
Get a van that's like on your shirt.
What?
Get a van that's on your shirt.
Of course. What I want is a Sprinter.
It is like...
But I want a long wheelbase, high top Sprinter, but the problem is I have to get rid of one of the daily drivers right now because every single dollar that we're making is going back into the business.
Send it to me, and you can drive it cross country, pulling a trailer.
That is not going to get me cross country hauling simulators, dude. Now, I would love to have another split window.
No.
I've had 2 split windows. I'd take another one.
Get a late
What was that?
90s GMC conversion van.
If you put a flat six out of a Porsche in that thing and little reworking,
You don't even have to buy the kit. I got a buddy of mine right down the street that done his 56 last year. Yeah,
You can put an LS
years
in it?
ago. Yeah.
Probably. Actually, what would be cool is I can't remember the company that does it, but Busboys makes all of the. I wouldn't want electric. I'd want petrol, man. But there's a company that makes Subaru WRX and STI conversions for like all things air cooled VW.
I don't know. Do I look
Really?
like an import guy to you?
Is it WRX or STI? Is it the 2-liter or the 2.5? Do you remember? It probably doesn't even
How
matter.
often do I talk about imports? You know how many?
Well,
You know how many
crazy. You
You know how many imports have been in my shop?
The last show.
well, we know for sure.
Well, there's a Datsun in there right now.
One.
There's a Datsun in there right now. Talked about it last show. You went off on it last show, and it made me go like, I need to come up and see Will. I want to see that car.
Oh, it's badass. I like it, but I'm not an import. I have no idea the difference between a STI, a WRX, a GXSR. I don't know.
Two of them are cars and one of them's a motorcycle. That's the difference.
Now Z28, GT, those things.
LSX,
we can talk about.
LS9, LS7.
Yeah, there you go.
L88.
5.0
Coyote.
I mean,
good Lord.
So CTS V.
So when I have all the money in the world and I bring you my Mercedes, we can do what you're doing to that Datsun, but we'll make it German.
Yeah, I can learn real quick, but
Game on.
I just know it's a Subaru motor in there. I don't know.
No, it's a really cool conversion to do those cars. That could be a goal for 2021 because my wife, her first car was a Beetle. I had a 66 Beetle way back when I was in high school for a little while. I'd do another Beetle. I could do another split window bus. I had a 62 and a 67. I would take another split window bus. The only problem with split window buses these days, have you looked at the price of these things?
Oh, yeah.
Dear sweet Lord. Like just a basket case anymore is $15,000. Like an absolute rusted pile is $15,000. And my 62 was an absolute rusted pile. I wish I still had it. I think I gave $300 for it. It'd probably be worth at least $8,000 or $9,000 right now.
That's his that Subi swapped.
Yeah, man. Oh yeah. An oval, destroyer gray. Game on, man. I'm all about it. So, what are your goals, John? What are you going to do in 2021 that you haven't done yet?
I actually hope to kind of rejoin the automobile world. It's been a interesting year, and the business pivot into this podcasting and kind of doing podcasting full time in front of the mic, behind the scenes, producing shows. I'll be honest, I've kind of been on a lockdown because of COVID. I'm not necessarily afraid of it. Members of the family in that, I really don't want to bring it home to them. So I've been cautious. I'm on the side that I'm just being cautious. And fortunately, my job allows me to work from home now. So I haven't been to any cruise-ins, car things, etc. I did just recently join a board for a massive car show that will be at the International Motorsports Hall of Fame in December, if all goes well. It should be a fairly large event, trying to generate a bunch of money for that museum. So that'll be a goal, is to be successful in that. I'm going to be working a lot of the marketing side, probably even goal is to develop a podcast around that museum. It'd be more NASCAR oriented, but we'll see where that goes. I do want to get back out, start having lunch with my friends on Saturdays, just doing some various shows. Maybe I'll actually keep a couple threats and go bug Will at some of the shows. And I did that a few years ago, and enjoyed saying hi and wandering around the shows and having him lecture me and trying to teach me personal manners. But it's just, for me, it's rejoin the car world and start paying attention. I've even contemplated selling off a lot of my woodworking tools and making my garage a garage again. It doesn't mean I'm going to work on cars, but it means I'll have a place to put cars. I do think I'll probably let go of my 62 Chrysler in 2021. If anybody's looking for a one-owner car, it needs significant work, but that will probably go away, so you can feel free to reach out about that one. But we'll see where it goes. I mentioned earlier in the show, I'd like to, kind of get a toy car or this 2-car driveway thing has been driving me crazy all year. Zara's car was out of commission for an extended period of time, being a custom car, and, kind of trapped her at the house. Fortunately, she works from home at this point, so it wasn't too much of an effect on us. But it would be nice to have that third car for, I can't tell you, I love fall days in Alabama, spring days in Alabama, where you just want to put the top down, grab a cigar, and go for a cruise. I'd like to have something to be able to do that, and then something that when a car's in the shop. Again, pretty simple. And then, business-wise, you want to do a podcast, you got a podcast, you need editing, you need production services. I'm the guy. Look me up. So that's jlewisproductions.com. But that's it. I think that wraps us up. I think most of our goals are probably toned back a little bit, other than Will's, since we're just actually inserting last year's interview with him into the audio. But I know he's got some things on the calendar and in store that we've talked about with Will that are, I believe, significant things that weren't planned to happen in 2020.
Yeah, that's where I was about to go was, I didn't plan on being the co-host of a TV show, very fortunate that it happened. Super pumped about it, but,
and I
took a lot of my time. But it also gave me something to do during this pandemic as well. So not going to car shows, make a TV show.
Yeah, if you would have had shows on the weekend, that would have really been a fun adventure, I believe.
Well, it was in my contract for, that to take place. If I had to be at a show, then, I got to be at a show, because that's my number one thing is Big Oak Garage. So
I think all three of us are really hoping you get a season 2. That's where the money starts coming in. We like trickle down money. Maybe you can make some of our Christmas lists from a few weeks back come true.
That's what I'm talking about.
Get me my $25 book. But I think with that, this is the final episode of No Driving Gloves for 2020. We're going to take next week off, and we're going to probably see everybody the first week of January 2021. Our start date 30/11/37.26. So I hope everybody's there.
That hurts my brain. That hurts. Every time you do that, I'm trying to figure it out in my head.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everybody. We'll see you in 2021. Thank you for listening, and remember to look us up at nodrivinggloves.com. There you can find back episodes, links to products we recommend, and links to all of our social media. Be sure to tell a friend about us. No Driving Gloves is edited and produced by J. Lewis Productions.